light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up, go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated, sucker free, we got the seats heated, let's face it, you bout to get a beat down, less talking, let's take it to the streets now, ain't gonna be no rematch, why you wanna fight, touchdown on sight, yeah, turn off the light, oh, turn off the light, let's get it poppin', go dumb. When you see me moving, bodies dropping. Move some. I'm about to go sick, call Earl. I'm turning up like E40, not your average girl. I'm turning up. We can rock like Rocky, make you tap it. Ghost ride the whip, look at my drip. This ain't a copy. We got a night if you wanna throw hands. When they see me fight, they wanna throw bands. Go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702 for a Monday night special edition of the Shoe Shine. Joining me all the way from the city of Philadelphia, city of brotherly love, Philly Irish Trevo. ¿Qué pasa, homie?
Acknowledge me. I know. Everybody acknowledge me.
What's up, man? I hear your team just made the hockey playoffs. Shout out to your team, the Flyers. Just clinched.
Nice team in the NHL.
Just clinched. Shout out to everybody in Vegas that supports me here and supports the Shoe Shine. The Golden Knights are playing a game right now, man. Shout out to the Golden Knights fans. What's up, Vince?
Shout outs to the people that have dreams of me coming to Vegas, that dream so much about it.
What? Drew, you just got to come already, man. Listen, enough.
They get sexual hours over it.
Dude, I'm planning a trip to Philly. Yeah, you got to watch it. He's like, what? Yeah, I'm planning a trip to Philly. Yes, I am. I'm planning a trip to Philly and New York City. That's not going to happen necessarily this year, but it might happen by next spring. We're gonna. I want to see all the historical sites in Philadelphia. We're gonna have the Philly captain take us on a tour if Philly Irish Trevo wants to join us, and then head out to a Phillies game. Yep. And then I'm gonna take the train to New York City. How does that sound? How do them apples sound?
Good luck with the 2-hour train. That's going to be a 3 or 4 hour train.
Really? The train is
so.
Amtrak. They said 90 minutes. Don't worry, Drew. I don't worry about it, man. It's gonna be all good. I can't wait to do a little exploring. But shout out to everybody out there on YouTube Landia. I appreciate you guys. Monday night Shoe Shine edition here. We're gonna talk about Conor Benn versus Ryan Garcia being talked about for August. Let's see here. What's the date they're proposing? According to Salvador Rodriguez at Chava ESPN on X Twitter, Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn on Netflix for August 2026. They were just on that Tyson Fury co-main event on Netflix, Drew. And first and foremost, I need to get your opinion. What did you think of the entire card on Netflix? What score does Drew Evo give it?
I really wasn't interested in any of the other fights except for the Fury fight. I think Conor Benn is not good at all. I think Conor Benn is shit. I think that, they're going to hype him up, and he's not good. He got exposed in the Chris Eubank fight.
One or two?
And everything. Both of them.
I thought he looked pretty good in two.
I thought he looked like shit in two. I think Chris Eubank looked like shit in two. It's a fucking it's a fucking disgrace of British boxing. And these fans should be ashamed of them and everything. I'm not a big Conor Benn fan. I don't think he's that good. He's very beatable. He is going to get knocked out eventually. If we look at it, his resume ain't shit.
Who's Conor Benn?
Advantages. Yeah, there's a bunch of advantages. Come on. It's how it is. Ryan Garcia is probably going to knock him out.
I'll have to agree with you on that. But before I give you my opinion on Conor Benn, the whole thing with Conor Benn, let's take a listen to a little clip from Timothy Bradley, who's been very vocal. A little bit of what Timothy Bradley had to say. Was that his toilet?
Yo, Tim Desert Storm Bradley, you already know the rest. Yep, I'm here. Oh, yeah, damn right. Tim, you so mean. Tim, you so disrespectful. I don't give a damn. Shit, all that money y'all making, hey, I ain't hating on y'all at all. Y'all make that damn money, but damn it, show up and show the hell out. Man, yesterday, man, I'm serious. I was sitting there. I was mad as hell. I'm like, man, when are we going to get the knockout? When the knockout coming? Come on.
Drew, $15 million for a fighter who's never been a world champion. This has got to be the biggest flex in boxing. I've never seen a fighter who has not been a world title holder earn a $15 million payday. Did Zuffa and Netflix get their money's worth? Tim Bradley said, where's the knockout? This was designed. You had Regis Prograis, who was a 140-pound champion, whose arguable best days was when he fought Taylor years ago. Years. Never fought at welterweight. Regis Prograis never makes a leap up in weight to 150-pound catch weight. I thought there was going to be a knockout. I said last week right here on my channel that Conor Benn was going to get a knockout. And he looked like ass. And he looked like he regressed. He regressed from that Eubanks performance, which I thought he looked pretty explosive at that catch weight against Eubanks Jr. in number 2. Yeah.
Technically, that was a junior middleweight fight. If you look at it.
Yeah, definitely not a welterweight fight.
So let's look at it like this. The first thing when we hear on the toilet flush, that's Tim Bradley talking about his career.
I heard a toilet flush.
So, but you gave this dude $15 million and he couldn't even knock out a fucking junior welterweight. And I just come on. This was a horrible showing. And let's look at it like this. I'm done with talking about Conor Benn because he's not worth my time talking about him. He don't deserve me talking about him anymore.
Okay, I'll do this. Let's hear it. Let's hear a little bit more what Tim Bradley had to say about him.
What's going on? Damn, Conor Benn, damn Regis touching your ass up. Wow, how? You trash, Conor. You ain't no great fighter, bro. Bro. It's the worst I've ever seen you, man.
Dang, the worst I ever seen you. Shout out to everybody joining us. Don't forget that like button if you like sports. If you love combat sports and boxing, make sure you hit that like. Appreciate it. Shout out to Colin in the chat. Drew, he goes down for this catch weight, 150 pounds. He takes the biggest career payday as a free agent. So you can't say no to $15 million. And Regis, after the fight, announces his long-awaited retirement. I don't know what they paid Regis. I hope he got well in excess. A great payday. Yeah, $3 million. But you never hear of a fighter who has zero accomplishments like Conor Benn. Aside from him being the son of a legendary UK fighter, what accomplishments has he made in the sport of boxing other than get a 2-year suspension from the British Board of Boxing Control for the use of enclomiphene citrate, a drug that produces massive amounts of testosterone.
The other thing that he's known for is fighting, is calling out guys that are retired or semi-retired and everything. I don't understand this dude. This dude's supposed to try to be up and coming. This dude's nothing but like a semi. He wants the easy fights. He rate drained Chris Eubank and everything. Chris Eubank is an idiot. Junior's an idiot.
Well, Chris Eubanks, also a fighter of a son of a legendary UK fighter, where a world title also escaped him too. Both of them just looking for the biggest career paydays in front of a large domestic UK audience. True. Here's the deal. This prospective fight, and I asked the question, is Ryan Garcia deserving of a WBC welterweight title opportunity? It baffles me, and it baffles a lot of hardcore boxing fans, some of the decisions that the WBC and Mauricio Sulaiman makes. Conor Benn has not has not fought at welterweight in 4 years. So how is he qualified to fight for a WBC title? How is he qualified by any of the sanctioning bodies to be ranked at welterweight when he can't prove he can even make the weight? Look at him. He came in, Drew, he came in at 6% body fat on Thursday at 150 pounds. To make welterweight, he is going to kill himself. Not literally, but, you know. Speaking of being drained, and we're going to continue this Conor Benn talk in just a second, Drew, there was a good fight, not a big fight, but a good fight Saturday night that was supposed to happen right here in Las Vegas at the Cosmopolitan Las Vegas by a promoter named DMG Promotions. Their biggest signee is Brandon Adams, a fighter whose best accomplishments are beating Sergey Bohacek twice. Beat him again. The rematch happened on the Canelo Alvarez Allegiant Stadium fight against Terrence Bud Crawford just months ago in September. On Thursday night, Drew, it was Friday, it was announced that immediately after the weigh-in, he had to go to the hospital. Now, mind you, this was for an IBF title eliminator at junior middleweight, 154-pound division, Fundora, Zayas, Boots, right? He's beat Bohacek. Virgil Ortiz went life and death with Bohacek. There's a 10-pound rehydration limit for any IBF title, okay? We just had an IBF title fight on Thursday. I'm going to talk about that one. They're notorious for stripping people. They don't F around, bro. You don't make that weight, that 10-pound rehydration clause the next day, they're going to strip you or you're going to get disqualified from whatever you're going. Anyways, Brandon Adams gets escorted to the hospital and the main event is off and ticket sales must have been absolutely horrible. This is, I guess, a picture taken by the guy he was supposed to fight on Sunday after he came back from the hospital. He couldn't make that rehydration day limit, man. That fight is off. I don't know how he's going to make it. This happened to Janabek. Happened to Janabek less than 2 years ago right here in Las Vegas. Could not make the weight. I think the day before the scales, before the official weigh-in, he was also hospitalized. They have tough rules in the IBF. Before we go back to Conor Benn, did you know there was a fight Thursday, Drew, for the IBF mandatory IBF super middleweight title?
Yeah, I thought it was for the main title.
Yeah, we got a brand new super middleweight champion of the world. I don't want to mess up his name. I always get it. Is it Oslisis Iglesias? Anyways, I had the Tiger Promotions in Canada. Vacant middleweight title, super middleweight title that was left by Bud Crawford.
Yeah.
Bro, that fight was ass. Oslis Iglesias. Okay, I had seen tape of him before, Drew, and I thought, okay, he's a southpaw. He's Cuban school of boxing. He can hit really hard. I could see why people were avoiding to fight him. Then he fights this title for a guy who barely makes the top 15 in the IBF, a guy I've never heard of. And he looks like, I don't know, he looks like he couldn't keep up with any of the names people were familiar with. Jaime Munguia. He doesn't look like he can keep up with that guy. Armando Resendiz, who's got one of the other titles. I don't think he can keep up at all with the Guatemalan fighter who just won an interim title, or Christian and Billy. He looks at the bottom of the pack, and somehow Oslis Iglesias is now a super middleweight champ, which puts him with a direct target from Canelo Alvarez. I mean, if Canelo wants to become a champion again ASAP, I think you're looking at the guy he's going to be fighting this fall. Did you get a chance to watch a little bit of that fight? It was a really boring title fight.
I was bored out of my fucking mind.
Yeah, and there it is, man. We got a brand new IBF super middleweight champion.
We got somebody here that wants to say something about the Conor Benn situation. Why is he number one ranked in the WBC for welterweight? And so, fat ass Sumov, why is he the number one contender? And it's a case by case basis. We have to do it like that. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You're done. If we ever interview him, Dave, and he said that bullshit, I'd say, get the fuck out my show. We're done. I don't need to talk to you. You're a fucking scumbag and a fucking and a fucking scammer.
Is Conor Benn that big of a star here in the U.S.? He fought. This is the thing. I was already living in Las Vegas, Drew. He fought at the Cosmopolitan with Eddie Hearn, who he dumped Eddie Hearn and broke Eddie Hearn's heart. He fought here at the Cosmopolitan. They could not sell the tickets to see Conor Benn. This was at some, he was technically suspended from the sport of boxing, and somehow he gets a flight over here to Las Vegas and decides, I don't give a shit about my suspension. I'm going to fight. Remember, he did that. He fought twice in the U.S. during that 2-year suspension. So going back to Conor's against who? A Mexican guy in Florida. He looked all right at 154.
He couldn't even fucking hold him.
Well, it's now gone 4 years without this long stretch of thunderous knockouts that he was famous for.
It's the juice.
He famously knocked out Samuel Vargas, a fighter I once interviewed here. We interviewed him from Toronto area. He knocked him out on DAZN about 5 years ago now. He knocked out former world champion Chris Algieri, Chris Van Heerden, who was a minor title welterweight champion. He knocked out so many people in a row that I thought, okay, the three badasses of the welterweight division when Conor Benn looked pretty good was Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, and Conor Benn. And none of those three guys 5 years later have gotten in the ring with each other. Not at all. Not at all. And since then, it's been 4 years since he's knocked anybody out. And his body don't look the same. Let's be honest. I'm not trying to hate, but as he strips himself of all that weight and muscularity, now that he's being drug tested religiously, the KO power's gone. Where are the KOs?
Eddie must love those blondes.
Where's the KO power? That's a legitimate question we're asking.
Yeah, it went with the juice.
Damn, that'll be something. Ryan Garcia has also been busted and suspended for his own. Granted, I'll make a distinction, guys. Osterine it's a peptide, I believe, that you can get through the research market. And Osterine helps you keep your muscle mass as you shed the weight. As you lose weight, you lose muscle, and Osterine prevents that. And clomiphene, what Conor Benn was taking, Drew, is it's kind of an offshoot of the drug called Clomid. Clomid is a drug they give guys that are experiencing fertility issues with their wife, and it boosts the hell out of your natural testosterone. Let's put it this way, guys. If Conor Benn had an athlete like Conor Benn probably had a score of 800 to 1,000 in his peak early 20s as a world-class athlete, he's probably around 800 to 1,000 testosterone. With enclomiphene, you can get up to 1.5 higher. This fool must have been having like a 1,200 to 1,500 TRT testosterone score. That is like bodybuilder bananas, Drew. That's definitely going to be helping you knock fools out. All with enclomiphene. All while at the same time not going sterile. Because remember, guys, if you take anabolic steroids, you will go sterile. And your nuts will shrink. And you'll lose your hair.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, I think Nerd is in the building. Nerd is in the building saying Drew needs both of those pads.
Oh, man. Nerds needs to fucking get a fucking DNA test.
What's up? What's up, Darius?
He might be my fucking illegitimate son that I fucking abandoned years ago because he wasn't like me.
So, Conor Benn ain't knocked out anybody in 4 years, but somehow he's ranked number one for Ryan Garcia. Drew, you said already Ryan Garcia knocks him out.
Yeah. Just like got knocked out his name and knocked out the cockpit in his profile.
For Ryan Garcia.
I gotta say something, man. I gotta really say this, man.
Yeah.
No, you acknowledge me so many times, man. I mean, I live rent free in your head enough, man. And it breaks my heart.
Oh, here's a Drew rant.
That you don't realize how bad you make yourself look every time you come on here. It's like I fucking abandoned you because I nicknamed you dumb fuck. And I think you're trying to get your mom so I can pay child support to your illegitimate ass. Dave?
Yeah.
We will only address Nord as dumb fuck from now on.
Well,
I'm sorry. This
today
is how we're gonna do it.
actually he's got a nice Aztec name today. Huitzilo Pochitli.
What's the fucking name mean, Nord? If you want, dumb fuck, you can't keep that name if you don't know what the fuck it means.
Well, I got a few other stories in boxing that I personally enjoyed Drew. And since you're fired up, I need to know what you think about this because it is now being talked about, rumored, maybe it's official, that Terrence Crawford is going to personally help Xander Zayas in his camp in the lead up to the June showdown between Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas. That is already true. Let me give props where props is due. These two young men, Boots Ennis and Zayas, have already sold out over 8,000 tickets to their showdown in June, that they've already opened the second level. This thing looks like it's going to be a complete sellout. Terrence Crawford joining Zayas camp. Is it cap? And will it be enough for the young champion, unified champion Zayas, to get over that hump? Now, we know that Boots Ennis can fight with both hands equally. He is one of those ambidextrous style fighters that maybe only Terrence Crawford himself could prep Xander Zayas. Does it matter, or is it too early to tell?
It doesn't matter. He doesn't have the boxing IQ and the boxing ability, and he does not have the power in this division.
Interesting.
Boots, it's just gonna be that. It's gonna be another catch a body.
Interesting.
And it's a shame. It's gonna be on the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
All right, well, you bring up a good point, Drew. Now, Phil, I just said at the beginning of the show, I'm thinking about visiting y'all in Philadelphia and then taking the train to New York City. Will it be an overwhelmingly large Puerto Rican crowd that is going to be in favor of Zayas in Zayas' backyard of New York City? Or will enough people from Philadelphia make the trek to support Boots Ennis in what could be a very close fight where judges might be swayed by the crowd itself? Or will it not even be close? Shout out to Leniel Rosario. He says Zayas got heart. Nobody else on his place would have took that fight. And you're right about that. A lot of people have been skirting the idea of fighting Boots Ennis as a high risk, low reward. And despite Zayas making an attempt to fight Virgil Ortiz said, nah. Virgil Ortiz said, nah, bro, we sent you the contract, but you ain't in for, you're not really my first choice pick. And now look how that worked out for Virgil. A lot of fighters have ducked Boots Ennis. So I give credit to Zayas for that. It's way too early for me to call, but I will say this, Danielle, if you're new to the show, I was at Xander's very first professional fight in Reno, Nevada, and I was at his very second fight at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas, and he's a friend of the show. Drew, by the way, no, I don't even want to repeat this story, man, but I'll tell you privately. It's a story that's going around in boxing. It's like involves true crime. You know how it is. Boxers always getting in trouble. Somebody that we know, a friend of the show, is in legal trouble, and why bring that up again? But
you already heard it on the last week.
I already said it, so I won't repeat it.
Yeah.
I won't repeat it. But anyhow, I don't know, man. I don't think there's anybody else I would rather have than Terrence Bud Crawford to help me out in camp.
Here's the thing. Yeah, but at the same time, he's got to react the game plan. And can he do that and everything? He has to somewhat have some feel for power. I don't think Xander doesn't have power in this division. That's the one thing that's against him right now. And he doesn't, and he's not a super great boxer to get him out of trouble and everything. It's going to take, whoever fights him is going to take, one of these big names could expose him for that. And Boots is going to expose him, but I think Josh Kelly could have done the same thing because he's a pure boxer.
Well, I'm so happy. Terrence has joined us in the chat. Salute to Terrence Bud Crawford, enjoying his retirement, but coming out of retirement to help young Xander Zayas. Salute to you, Terrence. Drew, Boots Ennis, for the, sake of argument, man, Boots Ennis really hasn't knocked out anybody in the division at 154 that impresses me either. So I'm looking forward to the sweet science. I'm looking forward to two young, hungry champions, because Boots Ennis was a welterweight champ. I'm looking forward to this showdown and seeing what the sweet science has in store and see if anybody gets hurt.
I'm going to answer that question. Could Prime Crawford beat Prime Cotto? I'm going to be honest with you. I think the version that beat Canelo is the one that dominates Cotto. I really think that the late version of Crawford dominates Prime Miguel Cotto.
Oh, shoot. Shout out to Chicano Prophet in the building. Shout out to everybody joining us as well. We got some new people in here. Appreciate Miss Shauna's in here. Chicano Prophet comes back. He says B-side Boots. Is he trying to get under your skin?
No, he probably is the B-side. And he's the only one who will probably take it, other than these other fighters think that they won't much. He let him have it in his hometown.
All right. Well, we're going to get to Tyson Fury.
Cotto was on his prime when he fought. Okay, but I'm going to say something. When did Canelo come up in this conversation? Because I'll be honest with you, the late version of Bob Crawford beats the prime version of Miguel Cotto easily. And if we look at it, Canelo don't play no part in this conversation. You asked me about Miguel Cotto and Terence Crawford. Of course, it wasn't a prime Cotto against Canelo Alvarez. We look at it at the end of his run, he lost the world kid, Saddam Ali, in New York on the eve of the Puerto Rican Day Parade. And Saddam Ali is actually a New Yorker.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it like this. Bob Crawford said on a recent interview, he went and saw Canelo fight Berlanga. And when he watched the fight, he said, "This guy's not beating me. There's no way in hell this Canelo Alvarez beats me." And he went and dominated this Canelo Alvarez. And I really fit now, Canelo's using the thing, I was injured. You fought still, dude. You choose to fight, and you were dominated. It was a one-sided fight. You should have never fought if you were injured. And I think it would have been the same result anyway. But I really look at how, Xander, he really is now facing a big step up in competition. And if we look at it, he's got to figure out how to be a pressure fighter. He's going to have to be a pressure fighter and cut the ring off with Boots. But Boots is going to do the same thing to him. And if he beats him to it, Xander ain't going to be able to do nothing. Nobody's really been able to cut Xander off. They haven't even tried to. And then the thing about it is, if Xander gets cut off, what's he going to do in a corner? And everything. Is he going to put any punch there is to get Boots off him? Or he's going to be cautious and try to let Boots throw a shot at him and try to counter him. It's so many things that it could do it, but Xander has to be able to put the game plan to use. He has to be able to perform the game plan. It's something that Xander is at most basic when it comes to boxing.
Sometimes the basics is all you need, but you got to be damn good at that. Hey, Chicano Prophet was in here, Drew, and I just want to give a shout out to Canelo Alvarez. That I heard, last week we talked about it. He enrolled in university Says it's never too old. He's a college student right now. I think University of San Diego. He wants to earn a degree in business. And obviously he's done quite well for himself, at one point becoming the highest paid contracted fighter when he signed a DAZN deal for $365 million. He knows business. And he was at the grand opening of his trainer, Eric Reynosa, opens a brand new gym in San Diego with a red ribbon cutting ceremony. Shout out to Canelo. Him and his brother own a taqueria, which is a Mexican taco spot in San Diego. Fonzie's been there. Fonzie's got me some really nice hats from that Canelo Alvarez taqueria. And Mexican Independence Day is on the way. We got Cinco de Mayo coming to Las Vegas in just a few weeks.
So, did he relocate to San Diego, Canelo?
He has a mansion there. He's had a mansion there. He has a primary mansion in Guadalajara, but he absolutely has his own mansion, and he's got all his papers to be here. And you know who else? And I wanted to talk about this. I want to get into the Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather saga because there's a lot of news. It's very popular on YouTube. A lot of people who casually keep up with boxing are tuning into what's going on between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd. But Manny Pacquiao opened. He bought a Floyd Mayweather, remember, TMT is different. The TMT gym in Las Vegas is a real gym for real fighters, real boxers in an amateur boxing program. But he bought one of Floyd's, cardio boxing places in Hollywood and has renamed it. It's going to be an exclusive Manny Pacquiao gym. So I want to talk about that. But real quick, Drew, let me give a shout out to Las Vegas Fight Club coach Jason Gallegos. He's the father of his son, Kaipo Gallegos, who is on the verge of signing a very big contract. He's been having some really big successes. Just fought on the PBC undercard of Fundora versus Thurman, Kaipo. Well, his dad took another one of his fighters this weekend to Pro Box in New York City, Drew. It was the main event. Talking about from Venezuela, Johan Gonzalez, who's fought repeatedly on PBC. Johan Gonzalez is coming off of a loss to the middleweight champion of the world, Arislanda's Lara. Johan Gonzalez coming off a loss, gets a call to fight on Pro Box on Friday night. Drew, Kaipo Gallegos' dad, Jason, Las Vegas Fight Club, on the verge of a massive 3-win streak. Not only did his other Venezuelan fighter, Lorenzo Parra, get a stoppage in New York City recently on on the main event of a Manny Pacquiao card. Lorenzo Parra, shout out to him from Las Vegas, a Venezuelan. Then he had his son win big on PBC on Prime just a few weeks ago. And Johan Gonzalez drops the gold medalist, a gold medalist from Brazil, Conceição. It looked like it was going to be over and he was going to get a 3-win. But Conceição being the Olympic gold medalist, the boxing IQ came back and he scored a unanimous decision, but it was close, man. So shout out to Jason. They tried. I think 2 scores were pretty close, man. I think 96-94, 2 judges had it. So only 2 rounds apart.
Well, there was news that they had to the end of the day to sign off. The Manny Pacquiao and Floyd had to the end of the day to sign this contract for them to fight.
That's right. That's right. Let's talk about that. I think I got the clip. Here from Ring Magazine. All credit to Ring Magazine, but let's hear a little bit about what's going on because they have until tomorrow. They got until tomorrow, Drew. That's what's alleged. But I'll tell you what I know so far.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What is the deadline? Obviously, Netflix already announced that you have to. What is the hard deadline to get this resolved?
Tomorrow.
What time?
14th. End of business day.
End of business tomorrow.
Yeah. And we're getting ahead. We're getting ahead. As long as he's got smart people around him that can see the size of the opportunity, then they can make him a lot of money, more money than he's made in the last 5 years.
I don't know what that figure is. Drew, do you have any idea what the actual price tag or the purse that Floyd's going to be entitled to if he completes everything that's on that contract? You know,
it could be $60 million.
60 million.
So, if I'm understanding correctly, if it's not going to resolve to your liking and Manny's liking by tomorrow, and Netflix's liking, then legal proceedings will begin.
I guess. Look, that's not directly in our hands or in my.
He's the CEO, by the way, guys, of Manny Pacquiao Productions or Manny Pacquiao Promotions. The guy who's speaking, he's not affiliated with Netflix. He is the CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotions.
My hands to speak on. There's many parties involved, but all I can say is we are making headway on it. There is a contract in place, and I think better sense will prevail here. We hope.
Drew, this is what I know. This is what I know from my research. According to what is out there, is that Floyd has signed a series of 3 different contracts, each with some pay along the way, meaning he's taking advances 3 times. He's signed 3. Why are there 3 contracts? If you ask Manny Pacquiao, every one of those contracts says this is a sanctioned fight by the Las Vegas State Athletic Commission. It will go on your record. This is a fight, a real fight, not an exhibition. Then Floyd comes out in an interview and says it's going to be an exhibition. Now I really don't even know where it's going to be. Sphere or not, it's an exhibition, which is completely against everything that they say. Now, the rumors for many years are that Floyd never really fully learned to read. Those are rumors. I don't know that for a fact. But it seems like it seems like the financial mess that he's in, $7 million lien placed against him by the IRS on his primary Las Vegas residence as of last week. A brand new lawsuit by the airline who's been $105,000 for private jet services. All right. $330,000 unpaid rent lawsuit and a $7.3 million IRS tax debt. Drew, Floyd reportedly took in advance from Netflix on those 3 contracts. And then, sorry, Drew. And then, guys, Floyd has taken out a loan. Drew, Floyd took out a loan against what he is going to supposedly make from Netflix for the entire event. So why on earth would he not comply with the terms of the contract that he signed up for? Bro, where are you going to get the money? You're already being sued to high hell. The IRS wants $7.3 million before they put your house up for sale. You're being sued by multiple private entities. He's suing Showtime for $300 million plus. If he don't fight, how's he get out of this mess?
Well, that's easy. He doesn't get out of this fucking mess. Like, here's the thing. Manny's trying to protect, Floyd's trying to protect his record at all costs. And I think, nah, dude, you agreed to a rematch. You're fighting a real fight, or else you ain't fighting at all. You ain't getting paid. You might get sued by Netflix for breach of contract.
That's exactly what the guy is saying. Look, he goes, there's multiple people involved, obviously, but Netflix is going to be coming after him. There's one channel on YouTube, I can't remember, that's alleging that Netflix is preparing a lawsuit to seize all of his assets involved in that his boxing gym franchise, the one I was talking about, it's kind of like a cardio, to seize assets that way. But here's what Manny Pacquiao had to say about Floyd being scared and why he's backtracking from this contract, which, by the way, supposedly has to be agreed upon by tomorrow. Let's see what Manny had to say.
I think he's scared of losing. He's scared of losing because that's his, his leverage for, to go around and have exhibition because of his undefeated record. But if that record will ruin, then what else that he can leverage for to go around and have an exhibition match? How
long does Floyd intend to do exhibition matches? He's approaching 50. I mean, is this like, Drew, Las Vegas is always known where performers come to die. You know what I'm saying? Like Elvis came here, Elvis, Liberace, all these. Nowadays you got that Jennifer Lopez selling out, like Jennifer Lopez is 50-something selling out her concerts and so on and so on. You know what I mean? Like, how long does Floyd intend to do exhibitions, Manny? Till he's 55?
Maybe 60.
Maybe
he'll
60.
Be like this. Or 80, be like this.
Dude, I'm just saying, if I was close friends with Floyd Mayweather, and if I could look at all his financial situation, bro, it's time to liquidate. You know what I mean? It's time to sell all the assets that don't make you any money and get out of this deep hole that you've dug yourself into because of lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep affects everybody. True, there's people like, I remember being younger and getting a raise, you know, if it was a significant raise. And the first thing I'm thinking about is, damn, I want a new car. You know, maybe a car I shouldn't be driving or I can't afford just because I'm making a little bit more money. Sorry about my TV, guys. Floyd did that on $1 billion scale. The guy made over $1 billion in his career, and that meant multiple private jets. They said Floyd had his private jet first, and then he got a second jet because his entourage was too big, because so many homies wanted to come with him that he had to get a second plane that he probably didn't pay for, that he probably wasn't making payments for, that he wasn't paying the pilots for. He's being sued by a third-party airline that does Learjets. He's being sued because he don't pay. He don't pay people. He don't pay for his strip club. His property taxes were in the arrears on the strip club here in Las Vegas. And because of that, they seize stuff where you have to sell. Man, he's just got to sell everything and catch up on who he owes money to, primarily the IRS. And he's got to take this fight with Manny Pacquiao. He's got to say tomorrow, fine. And get in the best shape of your life at 50 years old, 49 years old. Just do it, man. Manny Pacquiao did it for Mario Barrios. Arguably beat a young man in Mario Barrios. I don't get it, man. Just make sure it's a real fight. It's hard enough. Drew, I don't think you're interested in the fight, are you? A lot of boxing fans don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit. I just don't give a shit. I think it's just something I'm not interested in anymore. And I'm like, a lot of these fights, I just look at it saying, it doesn't pique my interest. Like, it's just something that doesn't pique my interest. Like, you should have given you should have given him a rematch, immediate rematch back then, but you're not the type that gives immediate rematches the guys you know you can beat and everything. And you didn't want to chance him. Oh, he's 100%. Maybe Pacquiao probably could have beat you. But you waited 5 years later for that fight to happen at first. So it's something. Now we're like 20 years away off for that fight.
Yeah.
What the fuck? It's like fucking Ric Flair's retirement match. Oh my God.
By the way, guys, WrestleMania this Saturday and Sunday in Las Vegas. That's reportedly what Floyd's career earnings were in the sport of boxing. But Ric Flair, Ric Flair is hosting a party at Palms Casino Saturday and Sunday, a pool party hosted by Ric Flair. For all you WWE fans coming to town, you guys can hang out with Ric Flair at the Palms this weekend. What can $15 million, speaking of cars, you know what I'm saying? Look at this. Special delivery today. Says this man robbed a bank, a special Porsche, and a brand new, that Ferrari in jet black. Both of them are like matte black. Connor Benn with his two new toys. $250,000 a piece, reportedly $500,000. That's chump change for his $15 million. Beautiful cars. Beautiful, beautiful cars. Hey, Drew, I appreciate everybody hanging out with us. I know that tomorrow you got to go, so let's just do one quick thing. Wrapping up this Tyson Fury drama. I didn't get a chance to talk to you the week before. Deontay Wilder, who many people thought, Deontay Wilder's done. He seemed to carry Derek Chisora in a fight where, man, you're like, both of these guys should be retired. But Wilder seemed like he's still got a lot of heart and could probably go one or two more fights. He obviously wants Anthony Joshua. But who else wants Anthony Joshua bad at this point in his career was what happened after the fight this weekend, Tyson Fury and Makhmudov. Makhmudov looked at like absolute trash. He looked absolutely awful. Well, Tyson Fury, they call out Anthony Joshua, who was sitting ringside. Shout out to our boy Mario Munkia on YouTube. We were doing a live watch party, Drew. What did you think about that call out of Anthony Joshua sitting ringside?
Okay, I'm going to say this right now. I I would have never went to that fight if I was Anthony Joshua, if I didn't want nothing to do with it and everything. Like, because like now you just show you can't trust Tokiyawa Sheik and everything. Like, if you didn't want, if you like people was, oh, he's not. If you felt like that, you should have never went to the fight. Like, now you just showed yourself ducking Tyson Fury. And we all know, everybody's going to know, he's going to choose the Wilder fight before Fury. So, end of the day, man, like it is what it is. He's going to pick Deontay Wilder to fight before Tyson Fury.
You think AJ will pick Deontay Wilder because he said it. He kind of alluded and said, I'd like a tune-up. He didn't exactly say the words tune-up, but it sounded like Anthony Joshua said, if I fight you, it's not next. I'm going to take a fight before that, because he's coming off of a very serious car accident in Nigeria that cost the life of two of his very closest friends and teammates who help him prepare for fights. He lost two good friends. I defended on Saturday. I came to the defense of Anthony Joshua. I normally wouldn't do that, but I had someone in my life, a music teacher once, who, when she was in college, she was the sole survivor in a car crash that killed three of her college friends. And Drew, she was in her 40s, and I was, high school age. She was a music teacher of mine. She was still affected by the tragedy of something that happened to her 20 plus years later, where she was the only girl that lived and three of her best friends died in that car vehicle. If it affected my friend, my teacher, well, certainly it should be affecting Anthony Joshua psychologically. He should still be tripping off of what happened to his close friends.
But he should have never went to that boxing event.
All right, I hear that argument too. There's people proposing that argument, and I'm glad you bring it up. That said, if you are heartbroken, if you are suffering from duress, psychological issues from depression or whatever, why the fuck are you at the fight in the front row, ready to be called out? I get your point, man. I get it. Why are you there? He was at wasn't he at the Deontay Wilder fight?
Yeah, and it is the thing, man. He's trying to do a Floyd Mayweather plan shit, and it's not working. It's just making him look worse.
Anthony Joshua flipped him off. He looked pissed. He refused to get in the ring.
It made Tyson look a lot better.
Really?
And only a AJ fanboy or fangirl would say otherwise.
I'm no fanboy. But there might be people I know in my house that are. I'm no fanboy of him, but so if Tyson Fury, who looked like after he shook off that ring rust, he looked good. He looked like a little bit like old Tyson Fury himself. Drew, I guess Makhmudov isn't that good of a boxer. Period.
Here's the thing: he's tailor made for Fury. Like Fury, it took like 2 rounds to figure out a strategy to stop him from moving forward, and that was the main issue right there. He was moving forward. Tyson was able to do counter shots and everything, able to walk around with his hands and everything, let his hands go. But it's just something I look at, and Makhmudov really, he had to make this a really bad fight. He had to make this a dirty fight. He had to make this something he can lean on and move a car. Like, he's got to do something. And it's something that I really don't see it getting any better this year.
Well, Drew, it's Tyson Fury reportedly saying that if it doesn't happen next, he is going to officially retire for the 6th time. I don't know if Turkey and his promoters can work to get him to come back to the ring. Tyson Fury doesn't seem too excited, but there's a lot of good fights still out there for him. I'll list off some of the heavyweight contenders that have been mentioned. You tell me, yay or nay, would be a good fight. Fabio Wardley, 20-0.
It would be.
All right.
No, I think it would be a one-sided fight. Fury.
Okay. Daniel Dubois, 22-3.
Same thing. I think it's a one-sided fight.
All right. Damn. Young Moses Itama, that's totally 14-0.
Moses might. I think Moses might
drop him. Might drop him. Say it.
I think Moses will make a good showing for himself, but I think Moses will eventually get dominated at the end.
Really interesting.
Picks in, and I think here's the thing: every guy that gets knocked down, if he really tries to figure out how the hell I got knocked down, but you got so much time you can figure it out in, and you just gotta tell him, hey, I figure something else. Like I don't think Moses ever faced that adversity yet, and I think Fury would be the guy to make him face it. And I think that he would have to be better, trying to see what am I, was it, he's doing that, he's doing that. All right, I'm going to do that. Because there's a knockout puncher is a guy that can easily be countered. A knockout puncher is a guy that can easily be beaten. And a knockout puncher is somebody you can put in there, and you can put shit towards them, and at the end of the day, you gotta figure out what the hell you do, what the hell his best weapon is. You take his best weapon, Moses Itama, and that's his length. That is his length, his reach. You take his reach, you go inside, and he ain't gonna be able to, set up. He ain't gonna be able to, get it all ready. And I think he's going to have to do light punching. A phone booth is going to be, light punching the whole time. You're only going to take a bulk of his power, and it's not going to be a big enough bulk to knock you down or to hurt you. That's what people got to do that are like at his size or smaller. If you're at his size or bigger, you might want to work on trying to stay away from him and score points.
Before I get back to this list, a shout out to Swinthil Media, Mom Food, planting things in the chat. Mom Food, if you're still listening, there's a channel called Searching for Grinds and Good Times, a Las Vegas content creator. I follow him. He went to that casino last week. He did his last video was on the casino where I saw the bunny rabbits that roam free on a casino. I'm talking about the resort at Summerlin. So if you go watch his channel, Searching for Grinds and Good Times, you'll see the place, but you won't see the bunnies because I got the bunnies on camera, Drew. I got the bunnies. Anyways, Drew, I think Moses Itama knocks out Tyson, 37-year-old, and that's controversial. But Cunningham, a cruiserweight, Cunningham famously did that to Tyson Fury. The list goes on and on. Obviously, Joseph Parker, that would be a good fight. He doesn't seem interested in fighting any of these guys. I doubt he'd want to fight Martin Bacoli, Philip Hrgovic. None of those names bring enough name recognition. I don't think none of those people would inspire. But I got to ask you, Drew, if AJ doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder and he doesn't really want to fight Tyson Fury for whatever personal reasons that he made him wait 10 years, and Anthony Joshua has a record. He's got a history of sparring Tyson Fury. At 20 years old, Tyson Fury admitted when AJ was only 20, effed him up, fucked him up in sparring. Well, then why not run Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 4? What's wrong with that? It's better than it's better than the fight Netflix just paid for.
He's not interested in fighting Wilder again. You don't need to hear that. And plus, we don't need to hear the bullshit that he cheated all these times and everything. We don't need to hear that. It's just too much bullshit. And you're probably giving certain channels ammunition and everything. So,
I don't know. If they're done with the sport, including on his way out, obviously is the unified champion Usyk, who's going to be fighting in Egypt against a kickboxer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's time for the new young fighters of the heavyweight division, whoever that's going to be. I don't know, man. I appreciate it's 9 o'clock, Drew. I know you work tomorrow morning. Appreciate you being here. I'm glad you're doing better with your health. I'm appreciative for everybody who is a subscriber to the Shoe Shine, guys. I appreciate it. You don't know how much that means to me. Tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. Drew, any special plans?
Work.
Yeah, exactly, man. What are you guys doing on Taco Tuesday? Let me know in the comments section. Leave me a comment here. Drew and I will be back next Monday, hopefully. Drew, on schedule. Mario, I was talking about Mario Mungia on YouTube. Shout out to him at Infighting Effects. He invited all of us to be part of a Wednesday show. He wants to talk a little bit about this, a little bit about that, boxing, every sport, but he's excited because WrestleMania is coming to Las Vegas, and it's going to be cracking in Vegas this weekend, Drew. It's going to be cracking. Shout out to all the wrestling fans out there. So I'll be back Wednesday around lunchtime. We'll put it up on the community channel. We'll be doing another show. It could be a joint collaboration with Infighting Effects on Wednesday afternoon. Drew, any final thoughts, Drew?
No.
All right, guys. Hey, shout out to everybody that joined us, including Terrence Bud Crawford. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
I want to autograph a set of gloves, Terrence.